Alright, so considering that it's round one, some considerable stuff has happened. The American medium machine gun observed the German half-track, communicated with the mortar, which we checked, and it was within range. And so now we are firing to see whether we hit it with roll 6, and now we are rolling to see whether the vehicle will be damaged or not. So we are rolling on the C table. Alright, we got a 3. So while I'm checking this, I want to talk a little about Heroes All. It's a free-to-play war game for battalion to regimental size combat. Here we're using only some company-sized units, which do work not as well as you would want. So we rolled a 3. So it is damaged, but because of the armor, it is fine. So I will leave a link for Heroes All in the description, and I highly recommend you play it. Alright, so end of the first bound. By the way, we will be playing 4 bounds with potential for a 5th. The American anti-tank gun refaced, so that is now facing the Panzer III, though it has not observed it yet. The mortar fired, but did no damage, as we already saw. The infantry squad in the trenches here moved into the building and also managed to observe the SDKFZ 251 half-track. Also, I'll be adjusting the lights up as dawn continues to break, just to keep the ambience normal. Over here, we see the American bazooka and infantry team moved up, but didn't observe. So, should be a good round. And now, back to the dice roll. See who's going first. My partner left briefly, so I will roll the dice for him. It is the Americans going. Right. The Americans got a pretty good dice roll. Also, we rolled, see if the smoke would blow off, and the smoke did blow off. So, all that's left is the smoke screen over there. The fog blew off, so now it's an open battlefield. So we should see a lot more stuff happening. So, yeah. Alright, my American mortar drove first blood. SDKFZ 251 half-track got blown up. The crew got killed by the mortar splinter, and so did one member of the platoon. But now the platoon has disembarked. So, first blood. Alright, so in some shrewd gameplay, the 2 American paratrooper platoons moved up. The one on the right shot at the guys who jumped out of the half-track, killed 1 Panzergrenadier, that was it. The American paratroopers in the center left that were in the building or auto spot observe on these German Panzergrenadiers back here, fired, killed 3 of their number, and then in very good gameplay, jumped back out of the building so that now they can't be observed again, unless of course the Germans move. So let's see what the Germans do now. Not a bad roll for the Germans, but not a good one, so let's see what they do next. Alright, the Germans have inflicted their first casualties when the unit behind the half-track passed their morale check, passed their ORT, and opened fire into the American paratrooper platoon in the open behind the field. They needed 6 to hit. They got 3 all from assault rifles, so now we got ourselves a game. The Germans did manage to pull something out of such a bad roll. We got the Panzer III to move back behind cover. They moved this infantry squad up, so now they are in cover. Using all those communications, the infantry squad behind the half-track communicated with the motorcycle sidecar, the medium machine gun team, and their light howitzer about the positions of the Americans in the field, which was very useful. Also, they attempted to observe the Americans behind the building, but failed. And so now we Americans. Countering the Germans' bad roll is a great roll for the Americans, so let's see what they can do with it. Alright, the round started good for the Americans. Their mortar plopped a shell into the German squad down here, killing 2. And then this squad ran up, split fire, knocked a casualty off the machine gun using their light machine gun, and then knocked every but 1 man off of the German Panzergrenadier squad. So that one lone dude he's barely hanging on. Great shooting from the Americans. They've also brought on another squad from reserves. So the American commander decided that it was time to commit his reserves. And now we will see how the Germans respond. Plot twist, the Germans don't respond, the Americans keep the initiative. The American commander obviously knows what he's doing because he's issued a continuing string of good orders. Alright, so the Americans basically obliterated the entire German left flank, finishing off the Panzergrenadier squad, the medium machine gun, and the R-35 motorcycle. They've now taken up defensive positions. That squad's still kind of in the open. This squad's behind platoon is entirely behind a stone wall. And then back over here, we have the other American platoon, which moved into position behind the building and is going to move up to support the anti-tank gun soon. At this point in time, the game is not winnable for the Germans. Their goal was to outflank the Americans and force them back. And after their initial patrol got destroyed by a lucky mortar shot and a lot of American firepower, we're going to call this an American victory. Be sure to like, subscribe, and check out the link below to download Heroes all for yourself. Thanks for watching.